Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, today we are here for the physics lecture on another topic, and that is the topic of the Muslim scientists. As you know that in the chemistry, in the bio, you all discuss about the Muslim scientists which also made the contribution in the study of their respective fields. So here some Muslim scientists are also in the physics which will gives you the contribution and who made the major contribution in the physics. So today we will discuss their each and everything and their contributions in their different fields and what they made, and we will get knowledge about them. In your book, after the physics and Quran, that topic, the next topic of your book is that what? The Muslim scientists. It is what that the contribution to the physical science by Islamic world. So also physical science there are the contribution in the physical science by the Islamic world, and few of them notable scientists are given below. The first one is what? Yaqub Kindi. Yaqub Kindi, who was born in 800 and then died in the 873 AD, and he was born in Basra, Iraq. He produced extensive research monographs. Monographs means books on meteorology, specific gravity, tides, and most important work was done in the field of the optics, especially on the reflection of lights. So he produced extensive research monographs on the metrology, and metrology is the study of what? The study of the measurements, and you can say that the study of the measurements is called the metrology. Specific gravity, this is the comparison of the density or specific gravity is a terminology which is used in the chemistry, and in here you can make the comparison in specific gravity, the comparison of what? The density of the water to the other substances. So this is the comparison between the densities. Tides, you can see that when there is the 14th date of the moon, so then you can see when the moon completed and become round in shape, so then on the coastal areas the waves in the upward directions are formed. The earth, the moon attracts the sea water towards itself due to the gravitational pull, due to the larger gravitational pull. So that's why it is pulled by the moon in the upward direction. And most important work was done in the field of the optics. So optics means related to your eye, related to your vision, especially on the reflection of light. Ibn al-Haytham, the next one is what? Ibn al-Haytham. Ibn al-Haytham was born in 965 and then in the 1039. Ibn al-Haytham, he was born in Basra, Iraq. He was a great scholar of his time. His greatest work is the book on the optics named Kitabul Manazir. He is also considered as the inventor of the pinhole camera. Kitabul Manazir is actually the book which was written by the Ibn al-Haytham. This is the most comprehensive book on the topic of the optics, because in this book he discussed the nature of the light. He discussed the processes of the light, like the reflection, refraction, dispersion, and in this book he also discussed the structure of the eye, and these all were the so much comprehensive knowledge which is still acceptable, and nothing in this book is rejected up till now. So this was the most comprehensive book. And then he also considered as the inventor of the pinhole camera, because Ibn al-Haytham was the scientist who made the pinhole camera. This is a kind of the camera where just only the head of the common pin, equal to the head of the common pin, a hole is there. So that's why it is also called the pinhole camera. And he take the pictures from this camera of what? The solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse, which we call the ग्रहण, चांद ग्रहण, मून ग्रहण, सूरज ग्रहण. तो उनकी ये तस्वीर इसने ली थी. The next one is Al-Biruni. He was the Afghan scholar, and he wrote about the 150 books on the physics, cosmology, study of the universe is called the cosmology, geography, culture, archaeology, the study of the ancient places, ancient things, it's called the archaeology, and medicine, and lots of the field physics. Along with the physics, he also made contribution in the maths, chemistry as well. He discussed the movement of the sun, he discussed the movement of the moon and different phases of the moon, that you can see the different phases of the moon, that it is somewhat smaller, thinner, and then it becomes the thicker. Okay, in this category, if we see that along with the some Muslim scientists, some Pakistani scientists are also here who made the contribution in the physics. So in this category, if we see the name of the Muhammad Abdul Salam, so he was born on the 29th January 1926 and died on the 21st November 1996. He was the Pakistani theoretical physics. Okay, and theoretical mean he was related to the theories, and he shared the Nobel Prize, and he was also the first Pakistani scientist who get the Nobel Prize in 1979 on his work of the grand unification theory, which is also called the electroweak unification theory. And in this theory, Abdul Salam discussed that nuclear power, the nuclear forces, and the electrostatic forces, these are the same things. Electrostatic force of attraction and the nuclear forces are the same, and it was related to the weak forces. And in this theory, he made the knowledge, he made the different detail about these forces. He was the first Pakistani to receive a Nobel Prize in Science, and in 1979 the Nobel Prize in Physics was also shared with the Sheldon Glashow and Steven Weinberg, because both these were also doing the same study, so that's why. Okay, and the last scientist of this topic is the Abdul Qadir Khan, which is also known as AQ Khan. Abdul Qadir Khan was born on 27 April 1936 in Bhopal, India. He was born there, and he is a Pakistani nuclear physicist and metallurgical engineer. The extraction of the metals from their ores is called the metallurgy. Metallurgy means the extraction of ores from the extraction of metals from their ores is called the metallurgy, and he was a nuclear physicist, and he founded the uranium enrichment program for the Pakistan atomic bomb project. And you can see that we became in 1998 28 May, it was also known as Yom Takbir, and it was the day when the Pakistan became the atomic power. So it was also the contribution of the Abdul Qadir Khan. He founded and established Kahuta Research Laboratory KRL in 1976. He served as both its senior scientist and director general until he retired in 2001, and he also still exists, so that's why his date of death is not mentioned here. So dear students, it was all about your contribution of the Muslim scientists, and who made the contribution in the different field of the physics. So this was all about, and you can see that how they made the contribution in the different field of the science, and in the physics their contribution are here. So these are all the scientists you can see. Hope you understand it. Thank you so much.